All right, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Breeders' Cup Sprint in very impressive fashion was Mitole. And we're joined now by winning jockey Ricardo Santana Jr., winning trainer Steve Asmussen, and the owners Bill and Corinne Heiligbro, who are longtime supporters of Steve's, been buying horses for quite a number of years. Congratulations to you all. Happy to see you. I guess, Ricardo, we'll start with you. It's always nice to get the perspective of the rider, and if you could just tell us about your trip.
That's a good thing.
Well, first I need to say thank you to the owners and Mr. Steve. They put a lot of work in this amazing horse. He rode really good today. I let the speed go. I see on the side the speed and turn for home. The horse gave it to me a really nice kick, and thanks God we passed a while first.
Steve, I understand that you guys had talked before the race and decided that you weren't going to worry about Chancelloc. Can you talk about the strategy going in?
Well, you're concerned with everybody and stuff, but we thought the best thing for Mitole was just to be, Ricardo knows him so well, is be comfortable. First of all, I think that not enough could be said about the job Scott Blasey, and Angel and did coming on out here early, making sure everything that was right and eliminating all the variables that could keep us from being in this position. Bill and Corinne being in racing as long as I have, this is a very difficult position to be in, especially with a horse that had done so much earlier in the year, with the Met Mile being such a important and marquee race for this horse going forward, and for him to regroup from there and then to prove that he's the fastest horse in the world today. What an unbelievable horse that he is. For these events, on this stage, to be able to share it with family, it takes a horse of Mitole's ability to put us in this position, and how grateful this group of people knows to be for that opportunity. We will be eternally grateful.
And Steve, can you put his campaign this year into a little more context, going back to the break he had before starting 2019 and the thinking behind that, and how that affected being able to run so often this year?
As you mentioned, going back, as a 3-year-old, he proved his brilliance. The horsemen that Corinne and Bill are understood that something as simple as a splint that he incurred as a 3-year-old, that his elite ability only comes along very rarely, and gave him more than enough time to be sure that he would be healthy enough to do what he does, because a body like his that moves as fast as his is a simple physics. But laid out a map which we felt was highlighted by the Met Mile, and then at that point, for a horse to have the mind as well as the physical ability to regroup and then to prove you're the fastest horse in the world at the end of the year is truly special.
Bill, your feelings right now?
Well, I have to just say amen to what Steve said, but I do want to say that in one thing, I know this horse, I know horses, my wife knows horses, we buy our horses, we sweated getting this horse. But I'm going to tell you here today, nobody would have or could have trained this horse other than Steve Asmussen. So you can book it.
I call it the A-team. The A-team.
So to have a horse this fast, it's like an athlete. Like if you play football and you have to play every week, when you get to the last game, it's really, really difficult. I'm telling you, you don't know. And the horses are no different. And of all these fast horses Corinne and I have had, it's very difficult to keep them at that level of performance. And after all this, I watched him in Arkansas in the pouring down rain beat some really, really tough horses, okay? And then to come back here like this and to do it all this time later, after everybody in the country trying to beat you, it's really, really something. So Corinne and I consider us the most fortunate people in the world to be able to have owned a horse like this. And it just comes around never, okay? So that's the way we think about it.
The thing I'm trying to say is we want to thank the A-team, and that is the family, Scott Blasey, all of the groomers, everything.
And
But
Mr. Santana.
yes, and the jockey for sure. We thanked him.
He's 18.
But it is a pleasure to have a horse like this. This horse is fast. He has a great mind. And I think he'll prove himself in the stallion barn at Spendthrift.
Bill, you said that nobody but Steve could have trained this horse. Can you tell us about your history together? You two have probably won 1,000 races just together.
Right. Well,
talk about that history.
That's what they told us when he went into the Hall of Fame. I checked it, and I have to say it might have been more than that. But no, we've won together. He knows how to treat me. He knows that I'm interested, and he knows the kind of horses that I buy and what I want to do. And that's more than any other trainer I've ever been with has done. So it's just a great thing to be there. And, you know, I can guarantee you one thing. I'm working really, really hard to put another set of horses with him because I want to do it again.
And Steve, on the same topic, can you just talk about Bill and Corinne and their support over the years?
This is a very special moment because of that. I mean, this is, you know, we get to savor this victory. Remember the moment, how great that this horse made us feel about each other, about ourselves, and that's what horse racing's about. And I think with Bill and Corinne, you mentioned all the great victories, the history of it and stuff. This is the best one to date.
I've got a picture at home when that boy of Steve's, the oldest one, was about this big in his mother's arms.
In the winter circle.
In the winter circle.
With a valid expectation.
And it was
still.
nice for him to be there today with his mother.
And that was a big race, too, believe me.
That's right.
Oh, very much
At
so.
that time.
Very fast horse.
Exactly.
Steve, you mentioned coming out here early and Scott coming out here early. He was here all of October. That's something that you do for the Breeders' Cup out west normally. Can you talk about that perspective?
You know, Scott's an incredible horseman. His passion is unmatched, but just the personal sacrifice that he continuously makes to eliminate the variables that may not allow us to be in this position. When the responsibility of a horse like Mitole comes along, as I think that we tried to prove, is just get everything out of their path and allow them to be who they are. And that is how grateful we are for this opportunity.
And the philosophy of coming out early to prepare over a track that you're not exactly sure what you're dealing with.
They're running it here. That's what we're getting ready for.
Yeah.
You know, whatever they're going to do with it, that we're going to be ready with it. To know what the racetrack's going to be like 6 weeks in advance is impossible, let alone a week, 2 weeks out. But he's out here to make the adjustments, and Scott. Angel's gotten on the horse all year, if not longer. They know the horse. They know how he's responding to it, what he feels like he needs, and to be in this position. And, let us celebrate him and honor Mitole for this feeling.
Very good. Questions, Lynn?
Thank you.
First of all, magnificent job of training, fabulous ride, beautiful buy when you picked him out of the sale. But can you talk a little bit about the horse? Because we know how hard it is to hold a horse together all year with this many grade. What's his mindset like? How does he approach his job? Talk about it from his perspective.
Well, I don't want to admit this, but I'm positive anybody could train Mitole. Bill and Corinne give me all the credit, and it's Mitole. We're not going to run for him. It's what he's capable of, and I think that people that know for him to get to the Met Mile and perform the way that he did against that field on that stage, stretched out, and then for him within a matter of months to retract, to reset, to be the fastest horse in the world over 3/4 of a mile. It's good luck anybody trying it. It's out there. Go prove it.
Mike.
Steve, is this guy horse of the year?
That is a unbelievably loaded question with me looking at my watch to go saddle another candidate for it. My kids still need to go through college. I'm not sticking my neck out there yet.
Matt, you had one?
I had the same question, but to follow up, hypothetically, if Bricks and Mortar wins and Midnight Bisou wins, what's the case for Mitole for Horse of the Year? How compelling of a case does he have? He's the first horse since '88 to win the Met Mile in this race in the same year.
It's in Scotch. Wow, that is so loaded. It's unbelievable. There is no replacement for Mitole as far as a racehorse goes, and there is no replacement for Midnight Bassoon as far as a racehorse goes. And for being somebody who's been fortunate enough to have great horses over the years, what makes them special or any comparison, they prove themselves on the racetrack. So anything else is simply a debate, you know. And so I think we just need to appreciate who they are and let the chips fall where they may.
The question from Jenny was the same question for the owners who don't have as many conflicts.
Everybody likes honors, okay? People like to play football and win a national championship. I did. So, everybody likes to have honors, but, winning the races is the important thing. And we let the experts pick who they want for those positions. Steve has other good horses. But this horse has done it. All I can say, he's done everything he's been asked to do. And it's been a really, really tough campaign. So what everybody thinks will be fine with Corinne and I. All I can tell you is they don't want to put them in the gate at 6 or 7 furlongs with us. That's what I will tell you.
Ricardo, Steve has legged you up on a lot of nice horses. Can you just tell us a little more about where this ranks in your career? And you've been on Mitole since the beginning or close to the beginning. What does this win mean to you today?
Well, in the first part, I come for winning Steve since I was a little kid. Steve gave it to me the best opportunity in my life. I rode a lot of good horses for Steve, and I need to say thank you to Mr. Steve and the group that always got confident in me and give it to me the great opportunity and amazing horses.
All right, well, you all have a champagne toast to get to. I'm sorry we got to cut it short, but hopefully the media can maybe catch up to you some more outside. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming to visit with us.